How do I look? I look nice. What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Maria Koliho. I don't forget to subscribe, comment, and even share. And also don't forget to give a thumbs to my videos. And if you've not subscribed, kindly don't wait. Don't wait. This is the time you subscribe in and we grow as a family. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get updated of the new video. Hey guys, today I have something to share with you, something so amazing, something that is really affecting the youth in this country. And for this case, I'm going to talk of how to overcome depression. And like before, I remember sometimes back I had introduced, I had uploaded a video on stress management. I know you know that. And like today, I'm going now to talk over how to overcome depression. Remember, depression is that mental condition causing an individual to be persistently sad or even makes a person lack that energy for the pleasurable activities in that, thus interfering with the day-to-day activities of the person. So we're going to look at some of the ways that makes someone get depressed, and out of it, how can such a person how can such a person overcome from such a condition. And like also I'll talk over the times you can even feel like quite often you find people using phrases like I'm depressed, or even think I'm going through depression, or etc., for the essence to express normal feelings of sadness or even blues in mind that person is going through. And for this case now, you can even meet some, okay, we have families, we have friends, we have workmates who are undergoing depression. And for this case, if you have a friend and has not watched my video, kindly direct her or him to what I've talked about. Let's first understand some of the triggers of depression. Now we're going to look at these triggers of depression, which include biological triggers. And like when we talk of biological triggers, they include the gender, which can be a risk factor to that. Apart from gender, we also have genetic disorder in a family. As a result to that, maybe there's some genetic disorders in a family which can tend to lead to depression. Then also for this case, you even look at the history of the mental health disorders in a family, like albinism. I'll talk of that case. Maybe you go to a family, you get married, you get a spouse to from either of the family, then you start a family, you don't know some of the disorders that exist in such a family. Like even you can talk of sickle cell. It is just a disorder which can be inherited from either of the generation that you come from such families. Then you also have some chronic disorders like cancer, we have kidney issues, we have also the heart problems which can result to that chronic disorders. Then lastly, I'll talk of the socio-economic factors, which include the financial constraints. We have poverty. We also talk of migration and other social economic factors that may relate to that. And also lastly, I'll mention of grief or loss of one of the loved ones in your family, or one of your best friend who die unexpectedly, as you had maybe wished that person to stay for a longer period. And also any form of transitions tend to lead to depression in a family. And also dependency on drug like marijuana, we have alcohol, we have cigarettes, and also other drugs which can tend to lead to depression in a family. And like for this case, you look at some people who tend to do that. They end up now regretting, and there is nothing they can do to revive out the condition. And for this case now, it brings stress, and when someone is stressed anakuwa na mawazo mengi, na hiyo mawazo sasa ina result to depression. And for this also, it result to someone even be taken maybe to a rehabilitation center. It can either work or it cannot work. So it is very important for someone to take notes on the ways the ways in which triggers depression. Then apart from that, we're going now to talk over some of the symptoms of depression. How will you know that someone is depressed? How will you know that someone is depressed? Also, one, you'll note this by changing in eating habits. Like someone takes breakfast, coming to lunch, dinner, that person is not present. Ana appetite. Getting to supper, anakula tu kidogo, then he or she gets to bed. So it is one way you should get closer to such a person. Anawaza kitu fulani lakini hana majibu. We also have change in sleeping patterns. It can either be as much of sleeping too much or sleeping too less. So for this case, mtu anaweza kuwa early riser or early sleeper. Then mtu anamka tu saa 7 ya usiku. You go online and you find someone is online at 1. So you wonder, what is this person doing online? And mark you, this person has a family. So it is a sign that this person is undergoing what? Depression. We also have a drop in energy levels. Unaenda kupima kilo. Maybe and like before you were 82. All of a sudden, boom, you get to 50. You're not considering in proper patterns of taking your meals. You undergo fatigue. You get, so you can't even be able to balance out your energy levels irrespective of the minimal excursion. Feeling tired very quickly. For this case, you just tend to look at someone in a minute time, or even not in a minute time, in 10 minutes gone to the farm, nalima tu kidogo, then because of the ako fatigue already, amechoka because of the many thoughts he or she is undergoing through. Then you also have unexplainable aches and pains, like we have headache, we have stomach. For this case, hata watu wana develop kwa na ulcers. So there's also things that tend to show that someone is undergoing depression. And like we've talked of those symptoms, we're going to look at the behavioral symptoms of depression. The behavioral, now we have to look at the behavior of a person. How will you note that this person is undergoing depression? Because depression si kitu ya kuongelea. Someone just fights it silently. You can't tell unless now you get close to that person. Mtu kama huyu anakuwa aje? We have anger outbursts or irritability or restlessness. Yani mtu anakuwa tu mkali. If she's a lady, you can think maybe it is adolescent stage at a certain given stage. Or if it is a mother, if she's a grown up past adolescent stage, you can even imagine maybe she's pregnant or expectant. So there are some of the things which you consider out. Then we also have frequent crying spells. Like I remember for my case, I used to cry so much. I love crying though. I don't just cry because I'm depressed. No. Something small, nalia too. Something small, nalia too. Because now how will I withstand that? No, and as a matter of crying, it heals. After crying, now you get healed. Now you make new friends, you talk, you laugh. And at the end of the day now, it now gets back to you and succumbs to that state again. Then also lack of interest in activity is also another symptom that really get to be noticed by the behavior of a person. And for this case now, that interest that they previously enjoyed, the interest of doing something, or the interest even making new friends, the interest of even having new friends maybe in town, you can't, because now you feel isolated. Yeah. And as a good friend who is close to you and understands you, will know how to handle that. Apart from those, we also have psychological symptoms of depression, which include someone feeling sad, that might even worsen during the day or night at both times. Then you can also feel very empty. Feeling of emptiness is another psychological symptom for that. Then you also feel hopeless. You feel hopeless. You feel nobody is there. Nobody can know that, can work out for your case, for you. Then thoughts of self-harm and suicide. I remember even, it is very true. This one is very true. You can even tend to commit suicide. I remember one of my best friends somewhere, I'll not mention the name. She came to tell me this lately. She just texted me and told me, Maria, I feel this should be the end of me staying with my parents. And I was like, why and how? Little did I know that she had already taken the suicidal for the cattle dip. Now, when I tried to reach out on her, she didn't even pick my calls. At the end of it, she blocked me. Getting to the morning, I was called by the mom that she's no more. And before then, she wrote a note. Kumbe, she had a boyfriend whom she had even really invested in him so much. And this boyfriend, when she called now the boyfriend, it is a lady who picked the phone and told now my friend that the guy has gone to the bathroom. So getting to look at to go down to dig down and get to know who is this lady picking my boyfriend's call and talk to me so adamantly. So getting to look at that, the lady told my friend that she's expecting twins. They've dated for quite long. They've even started a business enterprise with the guy. Now it was my girlfriend's money which was financing his projects. And now it was not the girl who was benefiting. It was not the wife and the boyfriend. Actually, it was tormenting. And like I would advise, before you get into it, eating those fruits, kindly take to understand your man, take to understand your lady before risking any project that you may want to do with the person. Another thing I'll talk of this cognitive symptoms of depression. And like we have these cognitive symptoms which include concentration. Apart from concentration, we also have difficulty in remembering. Like you're in class, wanaita IQ. You're in class, the teacher is teaching something or a concept in chemistry. And your minds are not in class. At the end of it, when the teacher now sets the same question differently, with slightly differently from what she or he has taught, you even don't remember anything because your mindset were elsewhere. And for that case, it really, really affects the concentration of a person. So it is very important for you to note a friend, a family, or either of your neighbors. Maybe you are used to saying hi, and like now it gets to 2 days you've not seen each other for quite some time. You've not even seen her walking around. You've not even seen her in machama, ama wapi, in classes. Kindly make an effort of reaching out to such a person. Then when you also have a problem, try to share out with your closest friend. Lakini me, I had that siri ya watu wawili si siri ya watatu ndio siri. So it is very much important for somebody to consider that. I remember when I was in campus, I didn't know that I'll graduate. I really didn't know. How it worked out, it is good. And I remember the last day to start in my final examination. It was on a weekend, it was on a Sunday. I went to visit one of my in-law and explained to her that I doubt if I'll graduate. But she just told me, you will. In-law, you will. You will. I didn't see it working out for me because I didn't see them coming to work out on me. Until when it got to a time when I got home, just got in my room, packed everything that belonged to me in a strategic place. I'm saying this because it's touching. But because it healed out, I can speak it out. Then I just saw my dad asking me, Maria, you're going to do the exams. Little had I planned to go and commit suicide. God forgive me for this guy. I'll never forget that. It is something that was so much touching, and when I remember the state, I felt like I'm nobody. I was empty. I didn't have someone to listen to my problems. I didn't have somebody. Guy, it is touching. I tell you, it is touching. But how? God works it out only if you believe. Yeah, there's some situations which I've undergone through in life, and as a matter of fact, I was slightly getting into depression, but it worked out for me. I love my uncle so much, Uncle Enos. So for this case, maybe you can maybe meet someone who've undergone such scenarios, and I've stated of the symptoms. From those symptoms, maybe you have a friend, you have some family members who are still undergoing the same problem. So how will you help such a person to overcome depression, or how will you help such a person going through depression? First, you'll have to exercise. You walk every day. You do something that you love. At least you exercise it on daily basis. Then eat healthy foods. You tend to eat healthy foods. Like consider in the best diet, the 3 supplements of food: carbohydrates, protein, and other supplements of food that can be of value to your health. Then apart from that, you also have to don't dwell on problems. It can feel good to talk through a problem with a caring friend. You know, we have friends, yes, but not all friends are caring. There are some friends whom you can share with your problems and they tend to share it out. But there are friends whom can share your problems and they can help you work it out. Don't give up on friends, and also make good friendship with such best friends whom you can meet on your way or in your lifetime. Then don't also dwell. If it's a problem, just don't die on it. It becomes a precursor to that. Then I also have to express yourself. How will you express yourself? You can just express to the world that you're depressed. No, but you can find a good person, like even your boyfriend. Apart from your boyfriend, you can even talk with your dad, your mom, your brother. Who is your best friend? That best friend can help you out on that. Then lastly, you can also get to notice the good things. Don't just look at the negative sides of things. You know, like there are just people who are born to criticize. You get. Maybe you've talked something out of mind and they tend to criticize it out. So it is very much of a value for you to consider the things that I've talked of for you to overcome such a condition. Actually, it is what I've shared with you, and I know you'll enjoy my part. Have a good day.